meeting to order. Ask everyone to rise as we do the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and we just thank you, God, for another day, and I just pray, God, that as we go into this year, God, that you just direct us and lead us in whatever ways you want us to go, God, and I just pray that our focus would be on you, and God, I just pray that we make the best decisions tonight for the citizens of Atoka, and I pray all these things in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Well, good evening and welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Welcome to the first meeting of 2025. It's exciting. And at this time, I'd ask the clerk to call roll, please.
Ms. McGee? Here. Ms. Pogue? Here. Mr. Sherrill?
Here.
Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mr. Kathy?
Here. This is the public comment time. This is anything that's not on the posted agenda. You may address the board at this time.
Mr. Chairman, did I hear, I did not hear if you clarified, but for everyone's benefit, that we are on Emergency Management Authority.
I did, but let me reiterate that. We are starting with
Yes,
emergency
because
management this evening, then we'll be moving directly out of this meeting over to the council. Thank you. Hearing that, just a-
Look, I
Just-
wasn't the only one confused.
Hey, I had my little red paper out.
Did you? Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Item number one, under the business agenda, item number one, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting on October 7th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number two, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting on November 4th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you both. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number three, discussion and/or action on regarding accepting or rejecting the Emergency Management Director's report. Good evening, Mr.
Travis.
Mullins.
Good evening,
How are you,
Council.
sir?
My report's there on attachment 3. Had a pretty good quarter, besides the one night back in November when Mother Nature decided to give us 10 tornado warnings for the city of Atoka. Otherwise, we did pretty good. But we did have a couple of standby deployments with our drone. We started for Pushpatawa County to help on a missing persons and got canceled off. And then we had a couple of federal requests that we were just on standby for. We never actually went out to them or nothing like that. So,
Looks like we've got some weather coming in, huh?
yeah, it looks like it's gonna snow.
Predictions?
Anywhere from nothing to 20 inches. We'll call it.
That's a pretty good prediction. I think, hey, just as close as any of the weather forecasters are gonna get it, so. All right, thank you. Is there any other questions for the Emergency Management
I
Director?
recommend approving.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Item number four, discussion and/or action on terminating the Atoka City Emergency Management Authority, not the director, to be clear, the authority, trust, and transferring all assets and liabilities to its beneficiary, the city of Atoka. Would I take this over to
Mr. Mullins,
Mr. Mullins or to the city attorney?
I'm gonna buck him.
Okay.
Okay, back, about a year ago, I approached our city attorney about this. Mercy Management sent out a deal across all of Mercy Management. We're one of 3 cities still left in the state of Oklahoma that has an authority for emergency management. Everybody else reports to the council. Under like Oklahoma Title 63, I can't remember the exact ruling. It pretty much states that the mayor, the highest elected city official, is who is over me. So we've kind of talked with Mercy Management. I think the attorneys looked it up, is it would be best to terminate the authority, transfer everything to the council. Technically, everything I do falls underneath the city council's stuff. This is just kind of an extra meeting that we're doing that I see that would not benefit the city for moving any other forward. I would still report to the council. We can still do reports. We've got a discussion on the council agenda about when I need to report and stuff like that. So
So it was made this way originally because.
Back in like the 1980s, emergency management was actually called civil defense. And an authority was issued under civil defense. It's just moved along and changed down the road, and it just hasn't been updated in our stuff. There's actually a civil defense director's position and all that in our city charter and stuff like that needs some updating work that we found, so.
Who are the other three cities that you say are still authorities?
Two of them's in like, the other two is in like northwest Oklahoma.
Hmm. So you're saying all the ones around close?
Durant requires their city manager or emergency manager to report every meeting to the council. So it's kind of like our report that Danny does. You can email him a copy of the report. Their director actually is at every meeting. It's just a requirement by the city council that he is to be there. Most of them report monthly is what I've kind of come up with on like cities about our size.
So do you wanna come to the meetings every month?
It's whatever y'all want. I mean, monthly would be fine with me. I mean, I think we're kind of getting off this exact agenda item that we have about closing the authority, and that could be something that will come up in the council when I will leave, correct?
Correct. He
Look
should
at him.
apply for that city
He's-
attorney.
He
They're
sits
learning
back there
something.
and listens. Look at that.
So,
What is the
But-
benefit to the city for us to not have this as a trust?
It really doesn't change a whole lot. I mean, the assets and stuff we
It functions-
insure and
it
everything
functions the
anyway.
same.
So it's just,
It's
really a
paperwork
one less meeting
reduction
and-
measure.
Yes.
It's a what?
A paperwork reduction measure.
yeah.
So we basically just wouldn't have our quarterly meetings.
It would not affect any type of funding mechanisms or anything like that that we would get from the federal or state levels or anything that we would apply for.
I mean, we.
It wouldn't
we
change
Pay
anything.
him, the vehicle is purchased, and we have insurance on it and everything just like now, so.
So when we write grants for emergency management, it's through the city anyways? Or is it directly to emergency management?
no, it's through the city.
Okay,
Everything
Every
of mine goes
trust
through
is
the
still a
city.
trust of the city.
okay.
So, okay.
And if you remember right on the last few of our agenda items, we've had to vote on it here and then turn around and re-vote on it in the city.
Yes.
So that would just stop this
Just be
meeting.
one.
It's one less meeting y'all would have to have. We wouldn't have to double vote on certain things. We'd be able to just vote on the council meeting and be done with it. End.
Very similar to airport authority. Problem is, we have to have airport authority. It's a requirement.
It's,
by
all of them
FAA.
authority now, is there not one, is there not, all of them are authorities, aren't they?
What's
No?
that?
I mean, all of them, everything that we have now is, will be an authority, right? I mean, the golf, what is it?
It's an authority.
Okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then, that will be, and what's the airport?
Mhm.
It's an authority, right? Okay. I don't see any different, that you be left out.
Well, his daily job functions don't change one
No.
bit.
Yeah,
So basically, it'd be he and Danny working together just like you're doing currently,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Just shortens things
So
up.
Donnie, this
Save-
is your recommendation? Almost to approve?
do we need to say terminate and all that good stuff with it, or not?
Yes. Well, your motion is to approve the termination of the trust and transferring the assets and liabilities to the city.
And I'll
Correct.
second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 5, discussion and/or action on this. Let me start that one over.
Johnny,
again.
do we have any other, do we have any other authorities or anything like that?
That we can
Every-
get rid
Are
of?
we all?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hands
I'd
up.
love to get rid of a few more.
Yeah. Discussion and/or action and canceling all future regularly scheduled meetings of the trust.
Almost to approve?
I'll second.
Motion
Wait.
s-
Wait,
I'll
do,
motion to
okay.
approve to cancel all future regular scheduled meetings. of the
Except that
trust.
we are going to have a special meeting on January 21st to approve the minutes from this meeting. So that will be our last meeting, but it will be a special meeting, so.
Except for the special meeting on January 21st.
Yeah, I'll second.
That tells us.
Are we clear? Okay. Motion second, all, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. As we move into the next meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Council, would you call roll, please?
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. McGee. Here. Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mayor Kathy.
Here. This is the public comment time. If there's anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the council at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of December 16th, 2024.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the city manager's report. Mr. Delay, good evening, sir.
Good evening. My report is on attachment number 2, if anyone has any questions or comments.
Questions for the city manager?
Are we ready for this cold weather?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Sandra is loaded and ready, and we have everything we need out there to utilize it.
Okay. Would you mind texting me like normal if it's bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for the city manager? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 3, discussion and/or action on approving or rejecting blanket purchase orders for the city of Atoka for the month of January 2025.
Those are on attachment number 3. Those are our normal monthly recurring POs, if anyone has.
Oh, motion to approve?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 4, discussion and/or action on adopting or,
1, 2, 3, 5, but anyway,
I had there was an extra one that I
Okay.
laid up there because I had
okay.
put 5 twice.
you good? Okay. Discussion and/or action on adopting or rejecting resolution number 2025-01 to serve as a guide and notice to the Atoka County Election Board for the election of mayor.
This is
That-
just our normal notice for,
Mhm.
for your spot?
That's
Yep.
on attachment number 4. If
That's
anyone
on.
has any questions, the city attorney is present.
Yes, absolutely.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes.
Well, they were sure excited to call your election, wasn't they?
Well, I mean.
I expect people to be lined up for this job.
I know.
Yeah.
There are gonna be lots of people.
All right,
too.
on item 5, are we gonna need to table this till we have better clarity on that?
I would prefer we go ahead and make the appointment.
Okay.
I think we have the authority to do that because, the trust indenture golf authority says you can fill vacancies, and right now we have, by operation of the trust indenture, 2 vacancies that we need to fill.
Okay.
And so I would ask that.
Okay, so item number 5, discussion and/or action to appoint Chris Thomas and Jeff Armstrong as trustees 4 and 5 to the Atoka Municipal Golf Authority pursuant to the trust indenture.
Why are we doing it?
This is like the housing authority. You guys appoint board members for the housing authority every year. And the golf authority, the way it was set up, that you have final authority over, final approval of the, trustees for the golf authority.
Well,
So
aren't
they
they
picked
already
them.
on the, aren't they already on the board?
They're timed out. It was
They
just their
serve for
term.
2-year terms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're up for another 2-year term, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Okay.
And
I
then
didn't know
they,
if it was 1
and
year or
they
2
have to
years.
put out their own notices for people that wanna run against them or whatever. We're not gonna have anybody come say, I didn't get an opportunity to, fill this spot. Chris and Jeff, are we gonna have that or?
No, because
Okay.
the ultimate authority lies with you, the council. Now, the trust indenture does say that we are required to give them an opportunity to make recommendations to the council, which is what, you know, they would do. They would have a meeting out there and say, who do we want to recommend to the council? The problem is, they had a meeting out there in December, and they did not realize they filled the wrong 2 spots. They recommended that Mark Burridge and,
Carl Henderson.
Carl Henderson retained their seats for positions number 1 and 2 and 3. They didn't realize those two were not up this year. It was positions 4 and 5 that were up this year. So, you know, we haven't received their recommendations for these two positions, but we're at a point now where we have a vacancy that we can't have another meeting until that vacancy is filled. And the trust indenture says that if there is a vacancy, you guys can make that appointment. So I'm asking you to go ahead and make this appointment. If they want to have another meeting out there and want to recommend somebody different other than those two, then we can deal with that at a later date. But we need to
Well,
fill
who
the
recommended
vacancies.
these? Who was a recommendation? Who recommended these people?
So when the trust was created a year ago, it's already been in effect a year. All 4 of the members were recommended by the membership at the golf course. So they got together and said, these are the people we want to serve on the trust.
I believe these are some of the same questions we had the last time that
Yeah.
we did this, and nobody could tell us how this was done. So
That's why
I
we
think-
tabled it till this meeting.
I think we need some clear guidelines
I
He's
don't-
giving it to
for
you.
them
Well,
on this. I mean, I
So-
understand they can't have another meeting, so could we like temporarily appoint it until they can have a meeting and put some guidelines together as to how this is
So-
I
going to
know.
be
So
done?
what guidelines specifically, or what clarity do you need?
Okay, so how do we do the other one, the housing trust? Does somebody appoints
yes,
them?
they'll appoint them and then they.
But somebody recommends somebody to
The-
come. So how do we get the recommendation?
Normally,
should
the only
come from
time
the
we get a
membership.
recommendation is
The
when,
residents. The
When they're-
residents get together and have a
Right.
residents meeting, and they will say, this is who we want, what I believe is how that occurs.
What I have a problem with is that I think it should come from membership. Why should we do it?
Well, the
I think the
membership,
recommendation should come from membership.
well, and that's,
And not us to put them there.
Well, and they had their meeting in December, they just recommended the
The
wrong
wrong
two
Well, going
seats,
forward, we
so-
would not be putting anybody there.
Correct.
We're just gonna be approving their recommendation.
Correct. and the 2 that were recommended, even though they're the wrong 2,
Yeah,
there was no one else that
wanted
requested.
to run against them.
Correct.
So there's not gonna come, there won't be any lawsuits or anything against us because we didn't look at anybody else that would have been
No,
eligible for this
Because the
position?
reality is, you can appoint whoever you want, even if they recommended,
Well, I wouldn't feel comfortable
if they
appointing.
recommended somebody else, you wouldn't have to appoint that person. You could appoint whoever you wanted to, so, that's just the way it's set up, because the city of Atoka is the ultimate beneficiary of the Golf Authority Trust, and is the owner of the property, you can appoint whoever you want as trustee.
So you're saying that there is not any liability in this for the
Yeah.
city of Atoka?
No, absolutely not. The only thing that can occur is all the members get mad at these two and wanna vote them out. Well,
Or
at
be in here the next Wednesday?
that point,
Okay.
we can change it if we want to.
Almost to approve.
One second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
And Johnny, you said this is the only time that we're gonna have to do this, right?
You'll make appointments every 2 years. Oh, yes.
I mean, no,
But they will have a
we'll-
meeting with
No,
the
you'll
rest.
make an
Right.
appointment every year, because they
We'll have
serve
some
on 2 year
guidelines to
staggered
look at,
terms.
okay.
But there are no guidelines. It just says that the membership of the golf course makes a recommendation, has a meeting in December and makes a recommendation to the council, which they did. They had a meeting out there, they made a recommendation to the council, and just so happens they got confused about who was up for election, so.
Okay.
And we'll address it and get it straight.
All right, yes.
So, okay, you get,
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mayor Kathy,
yes. Item number 6, discussion and/or action on authorizing the termination of the Atoka City Emergency Management Authority Trust and accepting all assets and liabilities thereof.
I'll make a motion to accept the termination of the Atoka City Emergency Management Authority Trust and accepting all assets and liabilities thereof.
I second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and/or action on specifying duties and responsibilities for the position of Emergency Management Director.
I think Mr.
Why does this say 4 coffee breaks a day on here? Was it in a 4-hour lunch? What's that about? I'm kidding.
My
So-
favorite line is that last one.
Yeah. They snuck that
Well,
one in there at last.
I figured I better put that in there, 'cause you never know what I'm gonna do.
That's my favorite line.
I knew you'd like it, Eric, I did it just for you.
So I think you guys
Sounds like
have the,
DLC stuff there, doesn't it, Diane?
Oh, it does.
I think you've seen the proposed job responsibilities. The only thing that I would add is our city code book. And the only thing that I think is really gonna change in some regards is that he's now going to answer to the city manager instead of the trustees, basically. So he's going to be a department head instead of a director of the trust, so.
Is there anything you want to add, remove? Have you already looked at this?
Yeah, I've looked at it. I kind of come up with it all except for the last line there. I agree with it. The only thing is the recommendation from the council on when they would like to see me report in. Like we were talking about earlier, if y'all want to see me every meeting or monthly, it's totally up to y'all.
So Danny, you're responsible, you're his
I would just think that monthly, give me an update of where you're at on everything monthly would
Do
be
you
good.
want him to report in person or do like the other department heads and just include
Put
it?
something on.
Yeah,
That's what I would
he can just give
recommend.
me a report and I can put it with mine, or, you know, like I do everybody else's
Yeah.
and stuff too.
I mean, not that we don't want to see your smiling face.
But you're welcome anytime.
You're welcome
Yeah.
anytime. But do we currently do like quarterly now?
We are quarterly, yes.
Yeah, that'd be.
And, if I need you that particular night, just like anyone else, I'll have you, you know, come that night to help explain something that's going on or whatever. Especially if it's in bad weather times or something like that, you know, or something. So,
Which means you get dinner earlier than all of us once a quarter. All right.
So Danny, if you don't have any problems with it, I'll recommend approving.
I'll second.
thank you.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner, sorry. Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Travis, thank you. Item number 8, discussion and/or action regarding approving or denying the payment of the retainage request to Mack Hill Construction Company in the amount of $63,450 for the splash pad improvement project.
That is on attachment number 5, and that is the final payment of the splash pad finally.
Is that where the drainage and stuff was really bad?
Yes.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
And we've got close to a year left on warranty, as far as if anything else pops up.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. As we move down, we have one public requested agenda item. And item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or denying the request by Corley Michaelis to organize the Walk Out of Darkness Community Walk to raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and to promote mental health and stop suicide, which would take place on September 13th, 2025 at the Sports Complex and/or City Lake Road. Corlin, good evening.
Good evening. Yes, I figured I'd try to jump on this thing real fast this year because for the last 3 years, we've done really well in fundraising and making over $10,000 every year to put towards the AFSP and providing benefits such as educational benefits to schools, to families, agencies, cities, anything that the different cities need, that people need to be educated on about suicide awareness. So this year, we're wanting to do another nighttime walk. We had a very positive response to last year's nighttime walk. So we're gonna try that again this year. And we're requesting again the use of the complex. And we would use the lights around the complex for the walk, except for the first part of the walk, like we did last year. We turned off the lights. We walked around the complex in the dark, and it wasn't that dark, but anyway, and then after the first lap, we went ahead and turned the lights on. And then that would be the use of the complex lights. We'd also use, until 9 o'clock, the splash pad, like last year, and then, the use of the, parking lot. So, it would be again at 8 o'clock in the evening. That would be the start time. We have people coming in before then to register and then go through all the different agencies. And we've got 21 confirmed for this year to participate in providing booths and information about mental health programs and stuff for this area. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what the walk has done for Oklahoma. Oklahoma was very, very low on the totem pole with walks, and so we did not have a lot of money coming into just Oklahoma. And with these walks, half of what each of the walks in Oklahoma fundraises stays in Oklahoma to provide for the families affected, the educational benefits, the political, what I want to say is just supporting the veterans. If there's a process to help veterans out, going out to the legislation and stuff, they're there to help. But we raised over 21.6 million last year for AFSP, and that was nationwide. And so with Oklahoma now getting a lot bigger as far as walks are concerned, we had 8 walks, and we've got currently 6 campus walks, and they're trying to enlarge that to having campus walks at colleges and community colleges as well. So that is also getting more word out
I
to,
think that's a great idea.
yeah, because we really do need to touch the college age, high school, college age students, even though it does affect all age groups.
And
We're-
this is on a Saturday?
It's on a Saturday,
Okay,
yes.
So we
Yeah.
usually get with the schools and stuff
Well,
on
they,
coordinating?
yes, yes. I have people inside the schools. Marisol Lockhart is a big helper right there. She gets all those little posters from her art class
Yeah.
students
I
and
just didn't
stuff.
want anything to interfere, like baseball or softball or
Well,
anything.
we had, 2 years ago, we had the homecoming same night, but it didn't affect us because we even had alumni coming that morning, because it was during the morning time. And they participated as well. Some of the alumni
Okay.
came and participated. So even with those, the rodeo last year, we still had 400 people show up. So with the rodeo, we went against the motocross, not the motocross, but the sand drags. They had something going on as well. So there is people out there that really, really need this as well, so. But yes, I was worried last year because it was too many things going on that night, but I was very pleased to see how many people turned out. And so we're getting more support, and we have more companies in Atoka and the surrounding communities now supporting this walk. So, but I just ask your indulgence in saying yes, and helping us keep this going.
Thank you. Corlin, I thank you for all your time and effort you put into this, and because it affects everyone. Everyone has been touched by this, and it's huge what you're doing for our community, and I thank you for that.
And
This
I
time,
I
do I hear a
recommend
motion?
approving, and I think we probably just need to check with the the complex to make sure that there's not any, interference or anything, Danny.
Okay.
But I recommend approving. I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Pogue?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill?
Yes.
Mr. Kathy?
Yes. Thank you all very much. This time, do I hear any council comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. All right, as we move into our next meeting of the evening, the Atoka Municipal Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Kathy.
Here. So move down, this is public comment time, if anything is not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. And hearing none, we'll move down to business agenda, item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving and rejecting the minutes of the meeting of December 16th, 2024.
Recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. This time, is there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. All right, as we move into our last meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Turner,
Here.
Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Mr. Kathy.
Here. In this public comment time, if there's anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving and rejecting the minutes of the meeting of December 16th, 2024.
Recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the Economic Development Director's report. Mr. Delay?
Our report is on attachment number 2. Anyone has any questions or comments?
What's your future project?
Got all
Any
kinds of things
hints?
going on.
Any hints?
In due time, in due time.
I always hate how this one's so dang secretive. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call,
You
please.
happy?
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. This time, is there any trustee comments? And hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue, Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes, thank you all. We are adjourned for the evening.
I know.
Thank you, please.